Hello, everybody. My name is Andres Astudillo, and today we are going to be talking about ocean acidification, which is something that interests me a whole lot. So, the causes of ocean acidification are the fact that our carbon dioxide levels have increasingly risen since the start of the industrial age. During the early 1900s, during this industrial age, carbon dioxide was placed into our atmosphere like in no other age and at a more rapid pace than in any other era, basically in history. We have continued to do this over the past century, which is just terrible for our environment in general. The reason ocean acidification occurs is because our oceans absorb tons of CO2 per year into the oceans. Um, this is terrible because the pH levels of the ocean are dropping, meaning that the oceans are becoming more and more acidic as more carbon dioxide enters the oceans. The effects of ocean acidification are many. Even though ocean acidification has just begun to be studied over the past 2 decades, we don't know much about it. But what we do know is that ocean acidification causes creatures that calcify to basically deteriorate. These creatures, such as corals, shellfish, mussels, all the creatures that need calcification, the lowering of the pH in the oceans causes these creatures to not take in the nutrients that they need. Ocean acidification also causes problems for our society. For example, because of coral bleaching, which is caused by ocean acidification, huge parts of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, huge parts of the corals in the Great Barrier Reef have basically been wiped out. This is very bad for tourism because Australia gains millions or maybe even billions of dollars a year on tourism alone, and that's because of the Great Barrier Reef and the unique environment and the creatures that live in it. Another place that will be affected by ocean acidification are the Florida Keys. They also bring in millions of dollars per year because of tourism, but because of coral bleaching, the same problem will occur as in Australia. Tourists will not come, and that lack of tourism will cause issues in our society. Another effect of ocean acidification is the environment of where fish are living. If fish don't have coral reefs to live, they're going to move elsewhere. And this causes problems because certain cities in the world need the creatures that live in the coral reefs to sustain their daily lives. So we can fix ocean acidification simply by decreasing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now, this does seem like a difficult task, especially because the carbon dioxide levels have been increasingly rising over the past century. But I think we have a bright future ahead of us because I believe that the world is moving on to a more green and sustainable way of living. And that's how we will fix ocean acidification. Okay, cool. That was it. How did I sound? I hope I didn't sound too dumb.
You sounded pretty smooth.
Yeah, it was. Doesn't have to be too smooth. I just fucking light, man. Dude, why is my light sucking?